Little to almost none of us know, there's actually a lot of radiation that resides in our oceans. Who remembers the Fukushima nuclear plant disaster that leaked thousands of gallons of radioactive waste into the ocean? Alright, so a few. Alright, so actually it was like an earthquake hit Japan and it broke reactor number 2, which leaked thousands of barrels of radioactive waste into the ocean. That is actually 100 times more than the legal limit of dumping into the ocean. So I was here to talk about the several types of radiation that are in the ocean and how it affects us in each and every way. There are over 60 different kinds of radionuclides found in our ocean, and they're put into 3 categories. Primordial, which is, it's been around since the creation of Earth. Cosmogenic, which is found from formed from cosmic rays, and then just human-made, which is pretty self-explanatory. Some examples of primordial is uranium-235 and 238, which are not that bad, and carbon-14 and tritium-3, which are cosmogenic. Iodine-31 and cesium-137 are human-produced, and they are very harmful to our environment. To get a perspective of how much that covers, the Pacific Ocean covers 6.549 times 10 to the 17th power meters cubed, and the Atlantic covers 3.095 times 10 to the 17th meter cubed. So if you add those extra zeros to the end of those, you realize you get a pretty big number. So back to the Japan machine, it basically was it leaked the iodine-131 and cesium-137, which is very harmful to the environment because cesium-137 has a half-life of 30 years. So for the next couple of decades, it's going to be in our oceans and actually reaching our west coast in about 2 years or so. So and what that does is it can cause mutations. Growth stunts, and have actually some complicated breeding effects for whoever's exposed to it. Also, during the Cold War, there was a couple of nuclear submarines that the Soviets had that had an internal fire and blew up, and they sunk to the bottom, and they had 32 nuclear warheads on board with also 2 nuclear reactors, and those leaked out onto the bottom of the ocean floor, which affected the fish desperately. More so the demersal, or the bottom dweller fish. They are the most contaminated out of the entire ecosystem. More than the epipelagic, the near surface, the pelagic, the open ocean fish, and the Neuston, which are the surface fish. And basically what they did is when they're exposed to the cesium, it increases the seeds in the fish's muscles, and it affects them mostly when one fish eats another. And that's part of the ecosystem just because most fish eat off the plankton, and the plankton are exposed to it the most. They absorb most of the radiation through the outside particles of their skin, and when eaten by another fish, they give the other fish basically a large amount of it straight on. When most fish have a natural resistance to radiation, but when they absorb it through when they consume it through other fish, they don't really have that type of resistance. So when the warheads in the reactors actually fell, it was there was a law where the Soviets were supposed to go to the bottom and clean it up, but they said they retrieved them all, but there was no real clear evidence that they actually retrieved them all. So there's still a possibility of all those nuclear warheads and reactors still down in the ocean, leaking out into the ocean every day. Also for on the nuclear test sites for people, when the United States would do some nuclear bomb tests off out in the Pacific Ocean. They did it near some like inhabited islands that when they gave off, it was like they actually contaminated the fish a whole lot and made it actually impossible for anyone in that area of the islands to eat the fish and technically survive, since that's mostly like a fisherman area. So I hope you guys got a basic understanding of all the amounts of radiation that cover our ocean every day. And the next time you're eating sushi or you're at a farmer's market, you think about where your fish is coming from and whether or not you think it'll be safe for you to eat.